Hi there, welcome to the channel. One day Benny was taking a stroll in the forest. It was a beautiful day out. The sun was shining through the trees and the birds were tweeting. As he walked along, looking at the flowers, suddenly his eyes fell on something in front of him. Benny stopped walking. He couldn't believe his eyes. What he saw was the biggest carrot he had ever seen in his whole life. It looked delicious. And so Benny thought to himself, I have to get that carrot home. So he went over to the carrot and put his hands on it. He tried to pull it up, but it didn't budge. He tried again, pulling with all his strength, but the carrot wouldn't come up. Said Benny, scratching his head. I can't pull this carrot up by myself. I need some help. Just then, a little squirrel popped its head out from behind a tree. Hello, said the squirrel. What are you doing? I'm trying to pull up this huge carrot, but I can't do it alone, replied Benny. Well, I could help you, but I'm not very strong, said the squirrel. I think together we could do it, said Benny. So the squirrel jumped down from the tree and together they tried to pull up the carrot. They pulled and they pulled, but unfortunately the carrot was too heavy and it just wouldn't come up. I'm sorry, said the squirrel, but I can't pull this carrot up. I'm afraid I'm just too weak. With that, the squirrel ran off up the tree. Benny sighed. He knew what he had to do. He had to find more friends if he wanted to get that carrot home. But who could possibly be strong enough to help him? Just then, Benny heard some splashing in the nearby pond. He went to investigate. There he saw a beautiful duck swimming around in the water. Excuse me, said Benny. Could you help me pull up this carrot? I want to take it home, but I can't do it alone. The duck looked at the carrot and then back at Benny. Well, I would love to help you, but I'm afraid I'm just too small, said the duck. Together we could do it, said Benny. Oh, okay, said the duck. So the duck waddled over to the carrot and started helping Benny to pull it up. They pulled and they pulled, but unfortunately the carrot was too heavy. The duck was getting tired and out of breath. I'm sorry, said the duck, but I can't pull this carrot up. I'm afraid I'm just too small and weak. With that, the duck ran off to the pond. Benny was getting a little discouraged. Pulling that carrot up was harder than he thought it would be. But Benny knew he couldn't give up. He still had one more chance. Just then, Benny saw something moving in the pond. He took a closer look and saw a giant turtle swimming underwater. Excuse me, said Benny. Would you please come over here? I need your help. The turtle slowly swam over to where Benny was. What is it that you want? Asked the turtle. Well, I was hoping you could help me pull up this carrot. I want to take it home, but I can't do it alone. The turtle looked at the carrot and then back at Benny. Said the turtle. Well, I would love to help you, but I'm afraid I'm just too slow. We could do it together, said Benny. Oh, okay, said the turtle. So the turtle put his flippers on the carrot and started to pull. At first, the turtle was very slow, but when he saw how much Benny wanted the carrot, he started to pull faster. And after a little bit, the carrot finally came up. All three friends were very happy. Benny thanked the turtle for his help. Then they all stood there for a moment looking at the carrot. Well, what are we going to do with it now? Asked Benny. I know, said the duck. We should have a carrot party. A carrot party, said the squirrel. That sounds like fun. So the three friends carried the giant carrot over to the tree by the pond and sat down. Then they all started munching on the delicious carrot. It was sweet and juicy and crunchy and all three friends loved it. After a while, Benny noticed something. The squirrel had a piece of carrot stuck to his cheek. Benny started to laugh. The squirrel got very embarrassed and quickly ran up the tree. Benny and the others started to laugh even harder. Then Benny noticed that the duck had a piece of carrot stuck to his beak. Benny started to laugh again. The duck got very embarrassed and quickly ran down to the pond. Benny and the others started to laugh even harder. Then Benny noticed that the turtle had a piece of carrot stuck to his shell. Benny started to laugh yet again. The turtle got very embarrassed and slowly climbed into the pond. Benny and the others continued to laugh, and they laughed and they laughed until their stomachs hurt. When they had all calmed down a little, Benny turned to his friends. "Thank you so much for helping me," he said. "It was really fun to have a friend to help me." "You're welcome," said the squirrel. "It was fun to play with you today." "Me too," said the duck. "It was really nice of you to ask me to help you." "Of course," said Benny. "Friends help each other out." "That's right," said the turtle. "Friends help each other out." Then Benny, the squirrel, the duck and the turtle played together all afternoon. They rolled in the grass and splashed in the pond and chased each other around the trees. They had so much fun. Then, as the sun started to set, the squirrel said, "I have to go now. It was so much fun to play with you, Benny, but I have to get ready for bed." "Me too," said the duck. "It was so much fun, Benny, but I have to get ready for bed." "Okay," said Benny. "It was so much fun to play with you today, too." And with that, the duck and the squirrel said their goodbyes and ran off. As Benny and the turtle were walking together, Benny said, "Well, it was so much fun to play with you today, turtle. But I have to get ready for bed now." "Me too," said the turtle. "It was really fun to play with you, Benny." Then Benny and the turtle said their goodbyes and went their separate ways. When Benny got home, he told his mom all about the fun he had in the forest. He told her about the giant carrot and the new friends he had made. "That sounds like it was so much fun," said Mom. "And I'm so glad you made some new friends." "Me too," said Benny. Then Benny and his mom munched on some carrot sticks together and went to bed. And so Benny learned that day that if you ask your friends for help, they will always be there for you. They will always be there to lend a hand, or in this case, a flipper or a beak or a shell. Benny also learned that day that no matter what kind of problems you have, if you ask your friends for help, they will always be there for you. They will always be there to lend a helping hand. And most importantly, Benny learned that day that friends help each other out. The end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it. In the heart of the jungle lived a young lion named Leo Lion. Now Leo was a kind and gentle soul, but he was also very embarrassed. You see, when Leo tried to roar, he sounded more like a squeak than a ferocious beast. And let's just say the other jungle animals found this very amusing. One day, fed up with his pathetic roar, Leo decided enough was enough. He was going to become the king of the jungle one day, and he needed a proper royal roar to go with it. So Leo left his home and set off into the jungle to find an animal who could teach him how to roar like a lion. As he walked through the trees, Leo heard a squawk and saw a beautiful blue and gold parrot perched on a branch. "Excuse me," said Leo politely, "but would you mind showing me how you make that loud noise you just made?" The parrot cocked her head and looked at Leo as if he were crazy. "Why would I do that? That's my personal noise. Why should I show you?" "Well, you see, I'm a lion and I need to learn to roar, but mine comes out all squeaky and I think it's because I haven't practiced." The parrot shook her head. "Practice your squeak somewhere else, little lion cub. This is my jungle and you are not welcome here." So Leo continued on his way feeling dejected. He walked past tall trees and vines until he came across a clearing where a troop of monkeys were playing. One monkey in particular caught Leo's attention. He was swinging from vine to vine with such agility and making loud grunting noises that echoed through the trees. "Excuse me," said Leo, trying to sound confident, "but would you mind showing me how to make that noise you just made? I want to learn to roar." The monkey stopped his game and stared at Leo. "You want to learn to roar? You're a lion. You're supposed to be born knowing how to roar. If you can't roar, then there's something wrong with you." Leo felt his ears burning with shame. Was the monkey right? Was there something wrong with him? Maybe he was just born with a squeaky roar and that was it. There was no hope for him to become the great king of the jungle after all. Just then, one of the female monkeys spoke up. "That's enough, runt. Don't you know he's just a little cub? Of course he doesn't know how to roar yet. Here, little lion cub, come over here and let me show you." The monkey called Runt grumbled and rolled his eyes, but Leo was grateful for the female monkey's kindness. She showed him how to position his mouth and how to control his breathing so that his roar would echo through the jungle. Leo practiced, and although he wasn't quite as loud as the monkeys, he was getting the hang of it. Just then, Runt piped up. "Hey, maybe you don't need to roar like a monkey or a lion. Maybe you should roar like me." He took a deep breath and let out a blood-curdling scream. Then he added in a sing-song voice, he. Leo shuddered. "No, thank you. I don't want to roar like a hyena." Runt stuck his tongue out and made a face. "Oh, yeah, well, you wouldn't last a day in the wild without your mommy Hess milk if you try to roar like a lion. You're just a big softy." With that, Runt ran off, leaving Leo feeling sad and discouraged once again. But the female monkey came over to Leo and said, "Don't listen to him, little lion. He's just a big bully. Don't let him bring you down. Now, let's practice that roar some more." After a while, Leo was exhausted and his throat was sore from all the roaring. He flopped down on the ground and sighed, "I'll never be the great king of the jungle if I see a ant roar like everyone else." The female monkey sat down next to Leo and said, "Being the king of the jungle isn't about having the loudest roar. It's about being brave, kind and strong. But I want to have a loud roar. That's what all the other animals have. They all have special sounds they use to talk to each other. And I want one, too." The female monkey smiled and said, "Then you need to find an animal who can help you discover your special sound." "But how do I do that?" "Well, you need to keep trying, little lion. Don't give up." And with that, Leo was off again, searching the jungle for his special sound. He walked for a long time until he came across a small pond. As he bent down to take a drink, he heard a croaking sound. He looked around, but couldn't see anything. Then he noticed a small frog sitting on a lily pad in the middle of the pond. "Excuse me," said Leo, "but would you mind showing me how you make that loud noise you just made? I want to learn to make a sound just like it." The frog blinked slowly and said, "Why should I do that? My croak is my personal sound. It's nothing for you to copy. But you don't understand. I'm a lion and I need to make a loud sound. All the other animals have one, but I don't. I just squeak." The frog jumped off the lily pad and hopped closer to Leo. "All the other animals get to make their sounds, but you don't. So you want to be like them?" "Well, yes, I guess I do." The frog looked at Leo for a moment. Then he said, "All right, I'll show you how to make my sound, but you have to promise not to laugh at me." Leo nodded his head. "I promise." The frog took a deep breath and croaked loudly. Then he said, "Now it's your turn." Leo took a breath and tried to copy the frog's sound, but all that came out was a squeak. The frog rolled his eyes and said, "I told you not to laugh at me." "I'm not laughing. I'm trying to figure out how you do that sound." "Your turn." Leo tried again, but all he got was another squeak. He was just about to give up when the frog spoke up. "Listen, little lion. It's not about copying someone else. It's about finding your own voice. You are a lion, and lions don't croak like frogs. They roar." Leo thought about what the frog had said. Maybe he had been trying too hard to be like the other animals. Maybe he needed to embrace what made him unique, his squeaks. So he took a deep breath and let out a loud squeak. And to his surprise, it didn't sound squeaky at all. It sounded like a lion. In fact, it sounded like the most magnificent roar Leo had ever heard. The frog and the monkeys who had been watching in the trees cheered for Leo. "You did it, Leo." The frog exclaimed, "That was a mighty roar." Leo was surprised. He didn't know he could make a sound like that. He felt proud and happy. He finally had his roar, and it was perfect for him. From that day on, Leo used his roar to protect the jungle and all the animals in it, including the frog and the monkeys who had helped him find his voice. And as for the parrot, well, she never changed her mind about sharing her personal noise with anyone. But Leo didn't care because he was too busy being the happiest lion in the jungle, roaring as loud as he could. The end.